Welcome back. It's Shaneenspeaks here with the Shaneenspeaks Talk Show, talking with Saffiyah Warren of On the Scene magazine publisher. We're talking about entrepreneurship, the good, the bad, and the struggle. And one of the biggest things that we know that kind of contributes to the struggle is support.
Absolutely.
Support with one another, not just in the community or supporting small businesses, but supporting one another, owner to owner, woman to woman. Mm-hmm. I don't see a lot of that. I'll say I see it, but I feel like I want to see more of it.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Yeah, I don't see as much as I would like to see.
Right.
I think that people talk it but don't walk it.
Right.
But absolutely, it takes a village. Like we've known that, we've learned that, we've grown in that. So I think that as a community overall, we need to support, but specifically as women, I think that it's really important that we support each other because we all have our own unique stories, but we have similar stories. We have similar struggles.
Right.
And, you're more powerful in numbers. So I think that it's important that we just make sure that we give that sisterly support.
So where do you think that barrier comes from? Like, what
is it?
Yeah, that's kind of like, that makes it so hard for us to just get on board with it. Because we see it. We are supporting. There is something going on where we are picking up, for one another, like, hey, good job, or, we are complimenting one another more often than we've seen before. However, living it and, having colleagues that are living it as well, you hear some stories.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the barriers, it's kind of generational for one. I think the first thing is that it's generational. Some things are embedded in us. Yes. I think that's the unfortunate thing. I think that's the first thing. The second thing is, I think that, unfortunately, I think that jealousy plays a role. We were speaking about that off camera, but I think that that's the last thing that I ever want to resort to of being a reason.
Yeah.
But I think if people had more self-love, they would have less time to hate others or be jealous upon others. Yeah. So I think that those are two major things that...
Jealousy is definitely a huge factor, but also another side to that too, I believe that it's just being promoted everywhere. Like, it's almost cool to say somebody's jealous of you. You get what I'm saying? So it's easier for me, and it makes me feel a lot better if I hear, oh, I got a hater.
Even though you're all a bunch of haters, I'm not gonna let that stop me from pursuing my dreams.
You know what I mean? Because you feel like you're something, as opposed to realizing how disgraceful that really is, and also just how it doesn't better you or the next person.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it's not enough of that realization that, wait a minute, something is really wrong here. It's not a good thing to be hated on. It doesn't, you don't need that to be able to validate whether or not you're on top or successful.
I'm glad you said that because I guess when I had a hater, the thing that made me feel better, I was like, well, French Montana said, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping, right? But that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate to have that mentality. It's really unfortunate to have that mentality.
Right.
I think that, again, if people pour more self-love into themselves, I think it gives less opportunity to put negativity out. And you also get out what you put in, right? So if people, and hurt people.
Yep.
Right? So we just have to, again, it goes back to that self-love. We have to love each other. We have to love ourselves. If we love ourselves, we can love each other.
Absolutely.
And I think that pours into ourselves and our community, and then it enables us to be more supportive.
Absolutely. And to have a supportive and a loving, positive business. Because your businesses are like your babies.
They are.
So if you harboring all of this negativity and, this jealousy and this selfishness, that's going to shine through in your business, in your customer service, in your booking, in your contracts. And ultimately, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, no, I think that it's unfortunate. But question for you. Do you think that that's a general woman thing, or do you think it's a black woman thing?
Jealousy?
The lack of support of, say, women-owned businesses amongst each other.
I feel like it is a general woman thing because naturally we're catty. However, I think it's more prevalent in the black community because of what we've been through culturally and how systematically that was like assigned to us. Like it was designed for us to not be able to support one another. When they took our men, you know, it was designed for us to believe it's no more men for us, you know? So same for our success. You know, so I feel like it's there, it's gonna be there, but that's how they were able to use it, because they knew that naturally as a woman we were gonna be catty. You sit there and you put us in a cage, it's gonna be worse.
You said when I said generational, that's exactly the point that I was getting to. That's exactly where I thought that it stemmed from. That's exactly the point that I was getting to as well. So I completely wholeheartedly agree with you on that.
Yeah, it's just, see what happens when two media people get together. We can flip the script real quick, and you know, it's just always a good conversation.
Absolutely.
I love speaking to my colleagues. It's just, it's amazing. But yeah, I think so. I think that I just wish I saw more of it, but I can't say that I haven't seen two white women go at it over a business, you know what I mean, or two Asian women go, because I've seen it. You know, somebody get a promotion, or someone wear a nice little skirt somewhere, and you know, it's so funny because I was watching this show. It's a black show though, but it just speaks to what we're talking about, called Half and Half. Do you remember that show?
I love Half and Half.
We'll really get down to it.
What exactly did you do to get this internship?
What do you mean, what did I do? I used nothing but my resume and professional etiquette.
Everybody knows what the hand on the shoulder of the woman whose skirt is far too short means. I hope you're proud of yourself as you're getting down to it.
But that just kind of speaks to how it is. You know, it's just, if we became more aware of those issues, I feel like it'll be much easier to tackle.
It's so interesting you said that too, because I wasn't going to say, it was so many things I was thinking when you asked the question about the barriers, but that was the other thing I was going to say. So the first thing is I was going to say that, you know, it was kind of systematically set up that way. But the other thing I was going to ask was about maybe men's role and separation of women.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
Oh my gosh.
So you spoke to it.
Oh my gosh. Like, it's definitely, and it's a shame. And I feel like nowadays, at this point, I think men do it like just so like second nature. They don't even realize, some of them don't even realize the game that they've just been thrown into. And as men, you know, you kind of get first dibs in a sense when it comes to respect anyway, you know, and so you kind of fall into it. It's just like when we talk about racial issues and you talk about being white privilege, you know what I'm saying? You have male privilege as well. You know, there's always a bro code. Men know how to stick to the script. They know how to stick to code more than women do it, what have you. And they definitely do play a role in that, because it's just, I don't know. I feel like they're so used to getting their way in certain instances where it's like, if I can manipulate this situation to the best of my ability, just for entertainment, you know, because sometimes they love when women, because it can be entertainment with our sass, with our head rolling, when all of that comes out, and it does come out. But for one, it's our defense, scientifically speaking, for sure. But also, it's just a part of who we are, and it's something that is attractive to the male. So if I can manipulate the situation, one, this appeases me just to see, but two, I have a control. You know what I mean? I can figure out, okay.
And I can leverage.
Exactly. Which is a shame.
It is what it is, though.
Listen. It is what it is. So, sisters, we need to support each other much, much better than we do.
Absolutely. I think it's important that we do. First of all, there's more. Look at the success that we would have if we did, because there's more women than there are men anyway. So if we would, like, support each other.
And, okay, so the black community contributes $1.2 trillion.
You are in my brain.
Yes.
I was going to get to that, girl. I was going to get to that, sis. I was getting to that.
To society, right?
Absolutely.
Did you know 63% of that is black women?
I did not know, but I can imagine so. It makes sense that it is.
You get what I'm saying? So we have a very heavy hand in all of this. I feel like a lot of us are aware of that, though. We are aware of, they may not know the numbers, but we are aware, like, something is up. You know, we got this thing moving.
Which is why, if you look at even like in politics lately, like, we were the ones that got the last two, well, not two, this one and the the last best president that vice president, y'all know what I'm saying? 44 and 46.
Absolutely.
We did that. Okay?
Yes.
We did that.
Yes.
Literally, black women did that.
Absolutely.
So the strength that we have, we got to make sure that we acknowledge it.
Yes.
And utilize it as well.
Yes, the strength, the influence, all of that. And when we continue to come together and just acknowledge that within ourselves and with one another, it wouldn't be hard to kind of let someone else in. It wouldn't be hard to just say,
that's what I'm saying.
Especially you see someone on stage, she gets the loan before you or she gets the accolade before you. It's like, I remember my pastor used to say something like, you shouldn't be surprised or don't get jealous when you see the Lord is blessing someone because at least he blesses your neighbor because at least he's in the neighborhood. Your turn coming around like he making his rounds.
Yes.
And if we all stuck to that a lot more, oh my gosh, this world would be so much better. And plus we need that balance. Mm-hmm. Like this society has been dominated by male for so long.
Ever?
Yeah. We need that balance because they don't have that nurturing side. And this is all women. This is black, white, whatever. Mm-hmm. They don't have that side to them where it's like you can take a situation and just be like, okay, is it really that deep? Right. It's not as natural for a man to go there first as it is for a woman. And a lot of times you need that to function. How many businesses have you gone to or have you worked as an employee and you see like all you had to do was consider that such and such had a baby. Mm-hmm. Or all you had to do was consider that such and such needed a car. Mm-hmm. It may not make sense for a business, but ultimately, yes, it does because you got a happy employee, you got a happy business. Mm-hmm. So...
Good point.
Oh my gosh,
Good
girl.
Good point.
Oh my gosh. Entrepreneurship, small businesses, the good, the bad, and the struggle.
Doing this,
oh my gosh, the struggle.
I love doing it.
Yes, you can find Saffiyah Warren on honesty.magazine.com.
Yes.
And don't forget to get her merch. The Black Press is the voice of Black America. Talk to you soon. Welcome back. Saffiyah and I was talking about the Black Press. Black media. It's just, for one, it's something that's so amazing because it is an honor to be able to be in media. If you learn about the history of like where media came from and then have like African American influence. Mm-hmm. Now, talk a little bit about your merch.
So it's interesting. So this slogan actually was on a shirt that my grandfather made in the 70s.
Okay. And
it was my dad's shirt, and I found it in his clothes, and I had the shirt for over 20 years before I could even fit the shirt, right, as a child. Mm-hmm. And I put the shirt on, and I was just thinking, like, you know what, it's things that people in the past didn't take advantage of, like trademark. And I was like, yo, this isn't a dope saying. I was like, it's not even dope, it's true, it's factual.
Right.
So the first thing I went to see was like, did anybody have this slogan? They didn't, so I trademarked it. But it was really close to me that it was my grandfather's statement. Mm-hmm. So with that, I developed the merchandise and the line with this saying, because it is, the Black Press is the voice of Black America. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so I'm going on like a whole little like marketing tour with it.
No, of course.
And it's been doing very well. It's been well received. We're doing a lot of expansions with it as well. We have T-shirts now, mm-hmm. and we have different products that we're going to do a box with. So mm-hmm. we have amazing things that we have for
I love it because it's definitely, it's completely true. And like when we talked about before, when you think about the media, it drives society. Absolutely. You know, and that's the whole point mm-hmm. of media. And people don't really understand. It's more than just you being in front of the camera and people hearing you. Mm-hmm. Like you have a responsibility to the world. That's why there's an aspect of media to kind of get it out to the masses so we can all be one and coexistent. And to have the Black Press as the voice of Black America, it's just like, who else is going to speak for the Black community?
Absolutely, absolutely. So one thing I was going to say is it's unfortunate because I feel like social media is a gift and a curse. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like it's a gift because it's given, people the platform and ways to speak and mm-hmm. convey messages. Mm-hmm. But it's a curse because it also easily gives people a platform to misinform people. Mm-hmm. I know that social media is a way of the times, but I don't really rely on social media mm-hmm. as much as other people do. Mm-hmm. I know it's a marketing tool. I understand that.
Right.
But I think it's what I want to drive people to is understanding having their own platforms as well. Because there's times that Facebook and Instagram crash and people go crazy because they can't get their content and they can't get what they need. But if you have your own site and you own your own content, you won't have that issue. And if your site crashes, you got whoever it is to get right back to it, and you still have your information. So
that's what legitimizes you.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Sure.
absolutely. Domains, it's really important to have your own setup.
Well,
so
I
something I
am definitely looking forward to my shirt.
Absolutely.
I will be
Absolutely.
wearing it. You will see it around. Don't forget. And where can they find your
So they can find it on thescenemagazine.com. And for the merchandise, it's on thescenemagazine.com/store. And they can order it and be shipped nationally as well. So
I love it. It's Shaneenspeaks here with Saffiyah Warren, the publisher of On the Scene magazine, and the Black Press is the voice of Black America. Don't forget.
don't forget.
Talk to you soon.
See you on the scene.